Today marks a pivotal moment in the history of the Catholic Church. A conclave, the sacred and secretive gathering of cardinals, has officially begun in Vatican City to elect a new pope. The death of the previous pontiff has left a profound void in the spiritual leadership of over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. In this video, we'll take you inside the process of the papal conclave. We'll explore the ancient traditions, the political dynamics, the possible contenders for the papacy, and what this moment means for the future of the Church. Welcome to Dynamic Trends. Subscribe for more in-depth explorations of real-life global events. Let's begin. The world was shaken last week by the announcement from Vatican City. The Pope has died, a man whose papacy had spanned more than a decade, whose messages of peace, environmental justice, and modernization stirred both devotion and debate, has returned to dust. As the Catholic world mourns, tradition must prevail. With his passing, the seat of St. Peter is now vacant, sede vacanti, as it is known in Latin, and a new shepherd must be chosen to guide the flock. The word conclave comes from the Latin conclave, meaning with a key. This refers to the cardinals being literally locked away physically and spiritually separated from the outside world until a decision is reached. The conclave is one of the oldest and most secretive democratic processes still practiced today. Since 1274, cardinals have convened under oath, praying for guidance and casting ballots in solemn silence inside the Sistine Chapel. Only cardinals under the age of 80 are allowed to vote. Currently, 117 are eligible. They are sworn to secrecy, forbidden from discussing the process with outsiders, and are cut off from all forms of communication, phones, internet, and even newspapers. Before the voting begins, a deeply symbolic ritual unfolds. The cardinals gather for a Mass pro eligendo pontiffis, the Mass for the election of the Roman pontiff. Then they process solemnly into the Sistine Chapel, beneath the awe-inspiring frescoes of Michelangelo. Each cardinal takes an oath to uphold secrecy, to vote in accordance with divine will, and to never seek or lobby for the papacy themselves. Once sealed inside, the conclave begins. Twice each morning and twice each afternoon, ballots are cast. The names are written on slips of paper, read aloud, and counted. To be elected pope, a candidate must receive a 2/3 majority. After each round, the ballots are burned along with special chemicals to color the smoke. If no pope has been chosen, black smoke rises from the Sistine Chapel chimney. If a pope is elected, the smoke turns white. What goes on behind the closed doors of the conclave, no one outside truly knows, and that's by design. The rules are strict: no outside interference, no media leaks, no lobbying. But experts suggest that debates do occur, deliberations shaped by ideology, theology, and visions for the Church's future. Some cardinals represent more conservative factions, advocating for tradition, strong doctrine, and moral clarity. Others are more progressive, calling for modernization, reform, and openness in response to modern challenges, such as LGBTQ inclusion, sexual abuse scandals, and climate change. The selection of the next pope will hinge on these competing priorities. Who might emerge as the next pope? While the Holy Spirit is believed to guide the vote, political reality shapes the odds. Several cardinals are already seen as potential frontrunners. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, from the Philippines, is popular among many for his humble persona and globalist vision. He's seen as a progressive voice with strong pastoral instincts. Cardinal Peter Turkson, of Ghana, has been a key figure in environmental justice and interfaith dialogue. His election would be historic, the first African pope in modern times. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, from Italy, is known for his diplomatic skills and his work with the San Egidio peace community. But as history shows, the conclave can be unpredictable. Sometimes, a compromise candidate emerges, someone less expected, but acceptable to all factions. Why does the choice of pope matter? The pope is not only the spiritual leader of the Catholic Church, he is also the head of state of Vatican City, a global influencer, and a moral voice in international affairs. A new pope sets the tone for the Church's future through appointments of bishops, doctrinal teachings, and global outreach. Will the next pope continue a progressive legacy, or will the Church pivot back to stricter orthodoxy? The world watches and waits. As the conclave begins, millions of Catholics gather in prayer, crowds swell in St. Peter's Square, eyes fixed on the tiny chimney that signals each vote. Media outlets from every continent have descended on Vatican City. Religious leaders from other faiths offer messages of solidarity. Political leaders issue statements of support. From Rio de Janeiro to Nairobi, Manila to New York, Catholics are holding vigils, watching live streams, and lighting candles in hope. Whoever is elected will face a monumental task. The Church continues to wrestle with internal division, plummeting vocations, and the fallout from decades of sexual abuse scandals. There is growing pressure to respond more forcefully to climate change, to improve relationships with other faiths, and to re-examine teachings on marriage, celibacy, and gender. The new pope will need not only spiritual wisdom, but diplomatic finesse, global vision, and courage. This is not the first time the Church has stood at such a crossroads. In 1978, the sudden death of Pope John Paul I led to the election of Pope John Paul II, the first non-Italian pope in over 400 years. His nearly 27-year reign reshaped the global Church. In 2005, the election of Pope Benedict XVI brought doctrinal conservatism back into focus. In 2013, following Benedict's historic resignation, Pope Francis became the first Jesuit pope, the first from the Americas, and the first to take the name of St. Francis of Assisi, signaling humility and reform. Each conclave is a turning point. Today is no different. How long will the conclave last? It varies. Some popes are elected within 24 hours. Others take several days. But when white smoke rises above the Vatican, an age-old symbol of divine decision, the Church rejoices. Soon after, the Cardinal Protodeacon steps onto the central balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and declares the words, Habemus Papam, we have a Pope. The new Pope then appears, offering his first Urbi et Orbi blessing to the city and to the world. As the conclave begins, history is being written in real time. A new Pope will soon be chosen, a man whose decisions may echo 4 generations. In a world often divided and uncertain, the Catholic Church now prepares for a new chapter. Thank you for watching. Click the link in the description to see 10 fascinating Amazon products related to Vatican history, religious studies, and church architecture. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a story that matters. This is Dynamic Trends, bringing you the truth, one revelation at a time.